good seal there. The shade would be nice, but the breeze would be. I was angle me. Oh, really easily. Because I was just checking that wind angle. This might kill my stream.
A band. Laser. GPS connected. X-band. K-band. Ka band. Laser. GPS connected.
What I do want is my sunglasses. Which I immediately drop. Fucking hell. And drop again. This time into the sand.
With the wind, I think yes, an extra hand would be a good idea. There's a dead seal down there.
Oh, I missed it.
It's mostly intact too. Definitely a lot of sugar sand out here right now. It's very sharp.
Yes, it is.
Stabilizes really nice once it's up. I can actually hear individual breakers right now.
That's in 7-mile-an-hour wind.
It's a happy kite. There's a good chance my rainbow would fly if I wanted to and had it.
I was like, oh, that parrot's going to be too heavy. And I'm like,
I made this awning a little low, so watch your head underneath it.
I spent way too much money on the elephants. I spent $500 on the elephants, and he offered that for $150. And that's a good deal for $150. So it makes me feel a little better about the elephants.
Well, the elephants are cool. I haven't seen anyone else with elephants.
And then
everyone's got eyes now, but nobody else has elephants. Everyone has crabs, no one has elephants.
And then Bob's all, oh yeah, they had that at the auction, and I said, what'd it go for? He goes, $50. I'm like, no, fuck you.
You still got a good deal on it.
Well, I think it looks brand new. It's probably thinking about it, I was like, you know what, it flies really good the way it is. Undo that knot. Maybe they put that knot there on purpose.
Yep. I love his little feet. What are you going to name him? A little short.
I found one.
He's a thickness, not a length.
Well, I found one the other day. That was all that there was there, and oh, he had a heyday with that.
It's quite warm today.
Huh?
It's quite warm today.
Ooh, well, my car said 70
Mine said 67.
68, I think is what mine said.
Man.
Oh my God, that piece was so good.
So I will warn you that the camera is currently on, just so you know.
I saw it on my phone, which is why when Nigel went that way, I didn't follow him.
So it can see my banners and it can see the ocean and the windows are open, so it can hear us, but it can't see your truck. Just figured I'd tell you.
So don't talk to that.
Bouncy loves your parrot. I was thinking, well, this would be a good time to test streaming on the beach since we weren't going to be out here for more than a couple hours. So it's running on my phone right now.
When we go this afternoon, I might take you there too.
Yeah, you're going to get groceries, right? So that makes sense. I figured we could take this since there's nothing in it.
I think you just want to drive.
You know how I am. Well, I would drive either way, but I am the lack of job has not decreased my interest in driving.
The only thing I don't like about him are his feet. But it's
I
because
think his feet are cute.
they're like in a perch position. I think that's why they're that shape. It's supposed to have a zipper in it, and I have searched high, low, and sideways. I cannot find the zipper. So the other day when I took it down, you know, the tail and everything were folding up, and then the body just sort of filled up with air. So I pushed it against the truck. That's how I got it to deflate. And I've never flown it in high wind. Every wind I've done has not been that strong. The elephants, the big one, the big blue one, I'm just calling blue, B-L-U. The middle-sized one, I don't have a name for yet. And then baby one, I'm just calling baby because it's like this big. It's small compared to the other two.
Weirdly quiet. In a good way. Since nobody else is here yet. It's just us and the waves.
The waves aren't that big either.
No, that was what I was saying. I can break. Not that far out either. I mean, it's like right there. I came out on the water and I didn't even think to look at the tide before we left.
I think high tide was 11.
And I'm looking at the water. It seems like it's pretty far up here. Must be still close to high. It was high when I came in last night. That was at high because the ships were just starting to turn at Astoria, and all of the sandbars were covered. Oh yeah, that's totally Nick, and I think that might be Ron right behind him. There's a guy in the new part of the neighborhood at home who has a Nick's, and now I can't see it every time I go by. Oh yeah, it's then.
It would have been, so it's still
Ships down. Hello? Yes, this is him. I'm doing okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking of giving you guys an update to let the doctor know, because it's been a couple days since then, and it's been improving. And this morning especially looked way better today than it did yesterday. So there's still a little bit of gunk coming out of 2 of the holes, but it's less and less each time I clean it. So. Will do. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. So yeah, the culture they took, no bacteria detected. So keep doing what I'm doing. I always love when we show up here and there's all this maneuvering around as we try and figure out how and where we want to be.
Oh, I do that when I'm here. So
well, yeah, because we're always considering whose kite is going to be where and what space needs to be had.
On a fly today. When I came out day before yesterday, and they already had their kites up, and someone both went up. Where can I be where I can be close but out of the way? So I drove up, dropped off my truck or my car, my seat, and then went back and then figured out. I parked where I was just under Nick's John's lifter, and until I shifted. Truck a couple times. Said,
I love when we attach to our line, and then the wind moves, and now all of a sudden everything's in the wrong. I thought that was see it now. I thought when the sound was and goes around.
Nick was reading what said he did.
Well, here's down here. Damn, there's no.
This has been and Sunday. I wasn't sure.
Didn't you?
Flag, but I can.
The only I on the weather this for inland. Like if it were best, I. Right now, day, and then. Oh, look at you out the window.
Good to see you.
Covering.
Well, I guess that'll work. like it. It doesn't feel like it can put a lot of line laundry up.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
I was surprised the parrot went up. I was happy because I thought it would be too heavy for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell the water's receding because there's like a sandbar that's forming over there where that guy is with his dog.
Hello.
Sick. What, we have a little wind and it's nice? What the fuck?
I was like, woo!
Weeks.
Kind of a we got leave around. Pack up.
Oh no. Remember to no. Sorry. Well,
You have to leave maybe about pack. Friend of mine gonna meet outside. You know, 4 or 5 years.
yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say. See you now.
Yeah, Wednesday was another. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so nice because it. I mean, like the forecast has been the same the entire time, so you never really know what you're gonna get. And like Sunday, I think it was, I was out filling slugs, and I'm like, there's no moisture in the air. It's cloudy, but there's no moisture in the air. I'm like, that hurts. Because we kept talking about when we would start seeing the sun again. But we didn't until Wednesday. And then yesterday was softening all day again. So it was over.
You're the
literally
one.
don't know from day to day what you're going to get.
You're the one who lives here, and I'm the one who visits constantly, and I'm the one telling you that I use the forecast as a guide, and that's it. Because I know that what they think it is not necessarily what it's going to be.
Well, it's like when Bob comes out and says, oh yeah, the weather forecast said the wind was going to be blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the wind forecast is a crock of shit.
Again, I use it as a guide only.
Exactly. I use it for a guide. Like here in a couple days, it's supposed to be 16. So I'm like, okay, I'll come out. Maybe it'll be 16, and maybe it'll be 6. You never know.
Don't know. That forecast seems to be relatively accurate about 1.5 miles that way. Everything from there to here and into the water is maybe. You're probably accurate forecasts from whoever like the use, because I'm sure they they check the weather.
Mom came into the pharmacy yesterday, and he said we came out to the beach, and it was a whopping 1 mile an hour. He goes, so they drove down to Long Beach, and it was misting down there.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have any mist here yesterday. I was surprised because usually it's the other way around. We mist up here and not down there.
Well, it was misting in Astoria.
Yeah.
It was quite cloudy. I came across the river, and the clouds were kind of like this, but thicker, with the sun coming through them. It was beautiful. I took a picture. The only picture I took all day yesterday was on the bridge coming across. I one hand on the wheel, and I take my right hand and I can one hand my phone, but it's a lot harder with 4 fingers than it is with 5. Not to mention the bandage is kind of bulky and in the way. So I go to grab my phone and try and one hand it and flip it, and I'm trying to do it like this. It's much more awkward. Because even just now I'm like, well, I want to So the injection site on my left arm, like it's irritation. Randomly, you'll get like a pulse or something come from it, and it's immediately like, oh yeah, there's a sore spot there. That's what's been annoying me about it, because it just did that. Now my immediate reaction is, oh, I want to grab it, itch it. I was like, that's not going to help. Saying on the phone, yeah, if things change, if you develop a fever, then yeah, you want to do some follow-up. But I've been keeping an eye out for that the last couple of days, because I'm thinking, I thought that to myself. I was like, well, the infection gets really bad really fast. The first sign will be a fever. I'll start feeling icky. So I have been keeping an eye out for that. But the fact that that hasn't happened, I haven't felt particularly lethargic, and as nice as it looked this morning, I'm going to continue to be hopeful. She did say, you know, obviously finish your medication. I was like, yeah. Manager.
Sometimes he's better.
It's probably because he can see Nick the whole time. He knows where he is.
Jimmy's pregnancy wrong, so he was working.
Right.
So I went, okay, hold on, time out, let's rearrange here. So I purposely walked around the truck so Jimmy would follow me, so he could pull over and sit next to me. And then he was okay.
He is very attached. He's a good pup. Just needs to learn he doesn't have to yell at everything. That makes a big difference, let me tell you.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Hey, Sam. How you are?
I exist.
Huh?
I exist.
You exist?
Yeah. That's about where I'm at for the moment.
Yeah. I heard.
Take weeks and chill. And also do this.
Due to that.
I had a fight with my cat and the cat won.
Oh, I heard. Oh, yeah. That's not nice.
You're gonna have this. I swear to God, he's becoming bipolar. Like, I'm not bipolar by any means, but because he was my mom's cat. He is a feral creature, and that's what happened. And I thought I could just grab him away, and he flipped over and latched on her. He's an absolute cuddle bunny. I mean, that's not his normal status, but on the one hand, I'm glad I didn't let go, because if I had, he might have accidentally, you know, cut instead of just bit. But on the other hand, I wish I had let go, and then maybe it wouldn't have been as bad, because I have 4 puncture wounds on this hand, on this finger, in the Tupper choker.
Yeah.
Because when he gets going, he doesn't give a crap about anything. He's just too involved in whatever it is that's pissing him off.
It's one thing that bothers me about Chewy.
Yeah?
I'm afraid that if he ever got in a fight with another dog, I'm afraid that I couldn't stop him. Well, I know I couldn't physically stop him. He's stronger than I am.
He's a big boy.
Well, I think I got to put up a tape. I'm not sure which one I want to put up yet.
It was 7 when I got.
And it looks like it's picked back up. The parrot's gone up.
Yeah. When you guys first got here, the parrot was or almost playing on the ground.
It was
Yeah.
lower, but I don't think it's on the
Well, I actually flew my 125 one day down here. First.
Oh. Good. Yeah, I decided I'd go light today. I'm healing up nice, but I figured I'd, give it another day or two,
Yeah.
so that I might actually be able to enjoy Kite Fest and fly stuff
Without a band-aid.
without having to worry too much about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been improving. I've been happy with that because I had visions of it being, getting bad. Of course, the doctor, he's trying to cover all the bases, and he's like, maybe we should have a hand specialist look at it. Maybe we should have X-rays done. And I'm like, I was going to go to the coast. Is that an issue? And then all of a sudden he's like, no, you can go. If it gets worse, let us know. We can always send options out there if you need them. Okay. They actually just called me because since it was infected, they took a sample to try and figure out if it was something, normal or more nasty. Because I'm already on antibiotics.
Yeah.
And they just called me here a few minutes ago to let me know the results came back in and there was nothing detected. So, just stay on the antibiotics, keep clean, let us know if it gets worse. So yeah, it's been doing, I was really happy when I looked at it this morning. It was a significant improvement over yesterday.
Animal that it was a pit bull.
I'm bitten by so many things. And I know bites can be bad, but that's actually one of the worst bites I've ever had. Which is saying something because I've been bitten by parrots, I've been bitten by iguanas, I've got a scar from the their teeth are curved backwards in their mouth.
Yeah.
And if one of them bites you, because I got bit like on the meat of my hand, if one of them bites you and you try to pull back, those teeth will just take you apart.
Yeah.
But if you don't move, you can be fine. You just have to make sure that they're not pissed, because if they're pissed and they bite you, they'll do an alligator-style death roll.
Oh shit.
So it's interesting. We had 2 rescue iguanas, and they were medium-sized, plus tail. And I got bitten by both of them. And these are rescued birds. They've been in a household previously, and they both bit me, and neither one of them barely. I remember, don't pull my hand back. One of them was having a bad day, and I was going to go in the hole to wrap her up in, and my mom was like, I'll just hurt, and my mom reached in there, she ended up going to the hospital getting sick. I never did. So all the animals of all the years, and it's a cat, my own cat, that finally does it. Dogs, cats, I've had bit by the dogs. Spiders. A lot. I have just enough data on the hotspot to run that camera right now. It's bouncing in and red, but it's connected. Oh, big, isn't it?
sun.
And there's nice things. This
It's been a long time since I put that kite up.
yeah. Went up nice.
Huh?
Went up nice.
Yeah.
Do you have holes in your tails to let the sand out? In your thingies?
That one has holes in it, I believe.
Okay.
It's my purple one. Oh no, this one doesn't have holes in it. It's the purple one that has slits in it.
It's sewn in, because we noticed that on Nick's the other day, because
Yeah.
Nick was like, oh, I need to put holes in this, and we were taking the tail off and went, oh wait, it already has holes.
My purple one has the slits in it. This one does not.
That one doesn't have holes in it, and I'm thinking that maybe I should put in a couple. But actually, I'd have to put one
What do you want
to help get the sand, but I just keep doing, because when I get down, it's shaking.
to? Yeah,
I
that's,
start to shake it really. The only way to get sand in it is
that's the
when
only
I'm
way I
washing.
can have that yellow one.
put the on. Hold to to hold my or to hold up. I got that whole wall, and every time I go at one of the boxes that has a thing in it that's the better quality, like the 8s or whatever,
Yeah.
there's not enough of them. It's like, oh, so this pretty cheap, and I'm like, it's gonna at least together. I saw a couple of them diving out that way. So I did. I made it so that that charger was easy to get to instead of being way the hell buried. And I found that kite. And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that thing. I was disappointed with how small it was when I put it up. So I tried flying it that day once we finally got wind. It would not go up. I'm like, it needs a stronger wind. So I was like, I wonder if there's enough wind today to fly that thing. It's an interesting little kite. Yeah. Definitely small. He looks like he's going to overload that line with his on. I mean, it's like, I know the whales have a certain amount of lift, but look how much they're pulling down on that kite. They found no something that carries, you know, that is your hobby. Yes. Go either. It'll all be different. I just saw sort of, but Catherine. I posted a couple pictures and Mom's going through all of them. Mom commented on the picture of the parrot. She says, is it Sam's? I said, yes. She says, nice. Looking forward to seeing pictures of it at the fest. Betting it gets some great compliments. just noticed the chute in the back. Corey and I were talking about kites night before last night. And she was saying how she probably wouldn't be into kiting, but she wouldn't mind sitting out on the beach while I kite. Kind of told her, I was like, if you're not interested, and then you try, kind of like.
It's like I wasn't interested in two lines, and Ron got everyone and said, "Tell me how to." So I used that practice. Like we didn't even know we wanted. It was just cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, now I found out Terry actually bought one.
Another one. I don't know. Maybe they're cormorant.
Terry bought me one. I actually two. So I was like, okay, but I haven't picked that up in probably a year or two. I think I've only landed once, maybe twice. I keep telling myself, like, today is right there to pull it out and see if I can get that with it.
I think those must be cormorants.
There's not the truck though.
I don't know if pelicans dive like that.
They drive straight down.
Pelicans or cormorants?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
And they're big
I know they're big.
and brown.
The ones I've been looking at look more black. Which is why I'm thinking that maybe they're not pelicans. There's another one.
Way out there, so it's right here on the property.
Though, because they're going in. I can see them over here. I can see them outside next to dive bar cash.
Like that's definitely a size.
Yeah.
And they do.
Maybe. Whomever and whatever, they are enjoying a good meal right now. There must be some good schools of fish out there at the moment.
Ron was talking about laundry that he had, like he's got this fish and he's a turtle. I'm like, you need to do those out because I haven't seen them yet.
What are you talking about? Confidence and whatnot. And it's like the thing last time I was here, me my dragon line laundry. I think that was like the second out since you got it for me. You know, you do it, and I'd only done it like once, so to try and bring it out again. Here is like once you've done it, then it feels to do it.
I even did it once, right at the edge of the just to kind of the line. So.
I had that day much particular in where the working.
And that takes forever to fill.
It does, but
And
you get
so something's wrong that you're not doing something right, but you just I have to remember it just takes time. Tide's going down. Tide's not going to come up very long.
because it's got putting the thing on it. His is down because it's got so much on it. Tell by the he's over there putting so far. I'm gonna go and put some work. He's behind. Not air in it yet. No, just barely. But
Right.
you could get up to him. So for a long time trying to get it. It was fine. He kept letting mine out, but not up.
Right.
The other thing,
Frustrated, I those thoughts. Because when I press, just get
well, so it's, I didn't watch it till
You're-
Facebook memory. Yeah, Facebook memory when I and Bob and Rosie came over and I thought we untangled the bridle and we measured some adjustments. I brought it back and so
that's no.
about it. Do you want to the other day, it was moist when I got it down in the house, and I'm like, well, since it's in the house, I might as well see if I can figure it out. So I undid the bridle again. So come to find out, there's knots. So these two lines go to a knot, and then the middle two lines go, and these two go to a knot. The problem is, those are intertwined. So I have to undo a knot, untangle a specific line. So I'm like, maybe I'll do that. So I did the measure again, and I figured each line is not the right length. Top ones, straps that hold the it's longer than itself. It's a strap.
Mm-hmm.
I completely and I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna take one out of the line. It first every time right, so it's done. We said it is still right. I mean, you're thing
What we because it keeps wanting to. Him tried to fix it last year at Kite Fest, and last time I had it out here, and I'm.
so
It
now
still
that I
leaves.
know we probably want to do it in the house yard or something.
Well, Tim showed me how to do that. I've the issue I have here is
strong on that kite that every time I pull it out, you know, the lines are stretching, so the shifting, and then trying to learn the exact right wind to fly it in. I feel that I could adjust it to Kingdom Come, and it would probably still. The thing is if the wind's right, it might lean a little. Turns into dot.
Same thing with right now. It's leaning, but it's not really moving. I mean, it's moving a little bit, but it's not swaying.
Right.
But when the wind picks up, then it becomes more of an issue. With the butterfly, 81, flying down. If the wind picks up, it picks up.
One kite to get for another similarly sized different type of lifter, just so I have, you know, options. The smaller ones, but the bigger one's the biggest one I have, and it depends. So it's nice to have something in that size range that might be more reliable, because I don't want to get rid of the rainbow. So that's something that I'm looking for.
I haven't had time to tell you the news yet. Bob's buying a kite, I guess you could say, shop. So the gal that is at Kite Fest.
Our Bob, Robert.
Yes. The kite place that was off to the right-hand side by the wants to retire. And originally at she was just selling the and she thought, well, do you want to buy the whole shop? I want to retire. So
Where's her shop?
It's all online and what she has in that trailer.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So she off, you know, a person, she generous like that, hired, and I don't know if it found out how to replace the pieces. So she started figuring out how to get those pieces, and then she's selling them to other kiters.
Ended up evolving into a business.
That's how she got started.
Huh.
So supposedly she is going to give him all of her contacts and all that stuff. Both him and Rosie are supposed to be spending a good chunk of Kite Fest this year with her to learn all the ropes. She is planning on trying to sell her inventory as possible, and then whatever left.
Remember to go check her out. She might have some fantastic deals.
Right. And then whatever she has left, she's gonna give or sell to him. So
Gotta remember to check her out. I like that a lot. It's a wrap up the tail, so slick. Boy, is it a you looked at one pattern. When you know what, and I'm gonna get that.
Got his business license, so
I think I don't think that's right.
The little one is, what, 8 foot?
no, it's longer than that.
Well, it's not 14, is it? Remember,
Not talking wingspan. I'm specific about the tail length.
Talking to tail.
oh, at least 15 feet
There you go.
on that one, yeah.
She said 25. I'm like, there's no way that's 25 foot long.
On the big one, they probably are.
Yeah. Oh. Ah. Yeah, where did the name come from? This thing just went from 4,700 feet down to 0.
Oh, yeah.
I got here yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, last night. My schedule. The beach is a classic place to go and try and reset. And oh hey, Kite Fest is next week.
Yeah.
I have some time.
I just hope the weather's better than your predictions.
Yeah, we were talking about that. And she said the rain Wednesday, and I was like, by the time Tuesday gets here, that rain might be, Thursday night instead of Wednesday.
Okay, the kite itself is 6.5 foot. The tail is 24 feet.
I don't know if mine's that big.
They're all the same.
I thought there was like a medium one and a large one.
I have the mini one that's white and blue, and smaller than our kite.
Flown.
Right now. I don't think.
Hang on.
So, I don't where we're. You can have them displayed, but I don't think it's.
Well, no, but so most of what for like dances and whatnot.
Well, I'm great.
I don't think we should do
Dude. Like you said, one of well, that's I. A lot of times go down. But if
Well,
thinking about
yesterday, I had some.
his drag goes down to the end of the approach and drag
Fence is the first short. About
last year the last
yeah. Down.
get out there Monday. All year round.
I'm thinking Tuesday to be that out there. We do.
Tim
Oh,
so because told not to just saying so that
I was thinking everybody sitting in line. If we're gonna. I'm gonna.
Say that?
I thought, I don't know if I'm gonna do or not. Schedule supposed to be on the webpage, but it almost seemed like every time Bob talked about it, wasn't sure. There wasn't.
Changes what he says every single time. And
Yeah.
I caught him on that here the other day because he posted pictures of some of the stuff that they were going to put in the auction. And I said something about, I asked him what the bag thing was because I didn't understand that. And I said, and you said there isn't going to be a silent auction, right? He goes, I never said that. And I went, I turned around and said, my answer was, you've said a lot of things on the beach over the past few weeks. That was how I put it.
I give him some leeway because it is sort of a fluid situation.
True.
I absolutely applaud that lady who took over the museum and stuff, though. She has made such an effort to try and bring back the festival and improve it.
Yeah.
And in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fighting an uphill battle all the way.
Oh, and it's funny because my across the street neighbor loves music, so I messaged her the other day and warned her. I said, just a heads up, there's not going to be bands at the Kite Place this year. There's only going to be a DJ. I said, the new gal taking over didn't know. And then she got all pissy with me, and I'm like, I'm just the messenger here. I'm like, nobody told her. Access to the registered flyer parking area is closed from 9 a.m. Okay, that's just Friday. So they're going to make it so you can't drive down there after 9, which we're used to.
Yeah.
And then leaving's the same way. If you get on the asphalt starting at 4:45, you'll leave at 5, and you follow a go-kart. So there's nothing in here saying how early you can get there.
Well, they may not have figured that out yet.
Because that's in the actual quote-unquote rules. Rules of the festival.
And they'll figure it out pretty early that first day. Like I said, I think especially Monday, I'm just going to follow you. Because after doing it last year, I have a relative amount of confidence in what to do and where to go, but since there's been so many changes, especially that first day, I'm just going to follow you.
I don't think this year's going to be any different than last year.
Yeah, but you've got more experience regardless with the whole setup. I've done it once. It's like this time
Just
around,
barely
I know
doing
where
it.
to go.
Huh?
So,
3 orcas and a whale.
Yeah.
Remember the 3 C's of responsible kiting: caution, courtesy, and common sense.
common sense? Nobody has common sense.
Make sure that lines on all tethered kites in open areas are well marked.
Okay, that's me and my
I'm
cones.
thinking about backing my kite up about 20 feet. It's been over kind of close.
I've got like 10 cones.
I got
so
everything
that's not-
spaced pretty good too this time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Nick.
So are you guys thinking about going to the dinner at all?
I'm not.
I'm curious, and they're doing lasagna at one of them.
The Kite Players, the Washington Kite Players.
Well, that's the new diamond.
It's not new though. He gave up flying it because it wouldn't fly in strong winds, and one day he put it up in light wind and went, oh! It likes light wind, not strong wind.
Well, that's me trying to figure out when and how to fly my octopus. I still haven't figured out whether it wants high wind or not, because you put it up in high wind and it goes woo, woo. You put it up in low wind and it goes.
It probably needs medium wind.
Well, we're trying to figure out where that line is, and it's such a pain in the butt with all its little legs, and it's still been really staticky the last couple times I pulled it out. So of course when you put it away, it's full of sand. I didn't take it out at all last time I was out here.
So right now it's showing rain tomorrow night into Sunday morning. But it might get hit midday with the storm. We're talking thunderstorms in Portland.
Yeah, they talk about them, and they're probably about 10% of the time they actually get a thunder. Most of the time they don't get any at all. Nick had his pirate kite up so far one day that there was a plane that flew right over us, and it was low. If Nick would have had his pirate kite up there, he would have caught himself a plane. That's how high he was up there.
I've got a little high flyer that's the same type of kite, but and I put it the heck up there, but not as high as he has his.
Oh yeah.
Watch out for that line.
Yeah, I see it.
Did you move your truck, Nick, John?
Huh?
Did you move your truck?
No?
Oh. I backed up. I might back up.
That's cool. Now the lifter I need to put a bunch.
Look at that. Barely good off the ground.
An 81.
Yeah. In this.
He's counting on those whales to add some lift to it, but they're really dragging the kite right now.
I wish we get a little more wind to take mine up a little higher. Ended up a little higher by 3 orders, but I think that'll just pull the kite back, you know, increase the angle of the kite, the big kite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let mine out 3 times, I think, since I launched it.
So Ron, your kite looks like it's close to his kites, but it's not.
It's not?
No.
No, his is way higher and away from
There,
yours.
see the
Yeah.
wind just gusted? See how it picked everything up?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason you would have to is if the wind changes to this direction.
God, those are so easy to put up. Way cool.
picture on the beach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's right over there.
Yeah, I can't. Truck. My super so good.
No, engine works fine. It's just her truck's made of lead.
Oh.
There we go. Three orcas and 2 fish, huh? I guess I gotta put something else up.
This crossbreed's worked out pretty well. I got the angle on the Jeep almost perfect. See, it's a warm breeze, but I'm not in the sun. It's like if it were a little chillier, I would get a jacket out, but I'm just about perfect.
Yeah, I thought this kite was going to come down, and now it's flying good, so the wind must have picked up just a little bit. So this kite here, I tried to put up a couple days ago, and there wasn't enough wind. That was the one I poured all of the sand out of those yellow and black things.
Yeah.
There was like that much sand in every single one of them. I forgot to check before I put it up today. It's like, no wonder that kite was so heavy.
Yeah, it's right above my head. Looks, well,
Whales are going back down.
it looks like maybe the one on the right side's got some sand in it.
Oh yeah. It's flying like this.
And I can't tell on the other side or the other two.
Yeah, the one's flying like this.
Yeah. I finally did figure handle flag and real easy.
I found a 10-foot pole. The other one doesn't work. I found a 6-foot flexi pole. Just to stick in the ground. And I was like, that would be perfect, but it's rooting in the ground. The bottom of the banner will be scrunchy, so I figured I can always fly something else off of it
Yeah.
if I don't like it, so. The same company that makes poles, like the flexi poles and the stick poles. So I think it'd be good quality. It's supposed to be here Monday or Tuesday. And the shirts got delivered while I was just after we got here. I'm like, figures.
What got delivered?
The shirts.
Oh.
Oh, they're trying to put up an umbrella. Good luck.
Somebody's trying to put...
They're trying to put up an umbrella like you see in California or Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, well, with the wind, maybe, maybe not.
Well, my bridle on that.
Yeah.
But it was tangled up. When I got the loops pulled out, okay.
The way they loop like that is always interesting to me. It's like you have to stop, because if you don't and they stretch, they just tighten just so quick and so bad. But if you get them before they tighten, it's like one little thread. You grab that and pull, and the whole thing comes apart. It's perfect.
I've had that happen on that before, but they didn't today.
I've had it on Bridle, Kite line.
Well, I got nothing wrong with that. See how he's just pointing right?
Now, I'm in the lee of the tree. He's a little higher. He would probably fly better. The light on the wind.
He doesn't have a wing on the left side, does he?
I don't think so.
There's one on the right side, I know. I can see it.
I'm kind of looking face on him right now, so I can't really tell.
Yeah, I know, and my lines are kind of twisted too. Went down to Bolstead yesterday, and it was wet outside. I had to use my windshield wipers to even see the ocean from where I parked along that line there where everybody parks.
I don't think it rained up here at all. I don't remember ever seeing any rain.
It didn't rain, but it was wet.
Yeah. I hit Astoria a bit before 6 last night, and it was misting in Astoria.
And then truck, we were going to go down.
Hell of a deal.
And I did truck.
Kind of the
Only got the first, whatever, the cliffside one down Ocean Park.
From here is Clifton, yeah.
So I got there, I was at 223.
You're being terrible today.
So I was up in the soft stuff, and you can't drive down on the hard pack because it's got water on it, because it's flat out there. And so the tide goes out and the water doesn't. And so you have to either go like right on the edge, it's tilted, or you have to go up on top. Well,
Good catch.
I got hot, and I said, well, I'm going to go by, you know, if we're going to go to Bolstead, I'll go down and I'll wait on the beach for you. And John went on down.
I'm not getting.
So I got down there and parked.
I'm just not
I had my
enough
windshield
wind for
wipers going every once in a while because otherwise I
tail over, you
couldn't. And
mean
there were
flight line.
kids and people everywhere.
Well, the wind is not.
Right. The young girls,
Just not strong enough.
I
for
could see,
anyone.
because they were in swimsuits anyway, and
2 more miles.
going out and surf, like, you know, kids do. And I could say, okay, there are, and I'm gonna stay all and that's figured out. It was
Your comment.
Tourists don't care.
Well, it's like,
I'm here to vacation.
Yeah.
I'm going to vacation.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
me.
true.
I don't care what the weather's like out here. I'll find something to do.
well,
If you're only here for 3 days and one of them it's
Yeah.
wet, you either find a way to enjoy it or you lose a day.
Well, I remember once driving down all the way to the coast to fly my two-line stack. So I drove down there and it was raining. It was flat out raining. And I launched my kites and flew for 6 hours in the rain. I had a raincoat on.
I was thinking my rain jacket is in my. Water.
I been
Morning showers, so the afternoon could still be okay. So I'm like, gee, we might get down there and then just sit in our vehicles for 2 hours.
yeah.
It was forgot.
Anywhere close. It happened to be
Books, remember? All that's there.
they
Action packed. It's been a while since I read them. That poor, trying to remember who he is, and then I think this the end, because the end of the second book, all the crap, he finally had the ending. Not a big life back. That's when I said there was so much happening. Okay, happy ending. I'm gonna leave. I need to know next. He got his happy.
I've done movies that they brought up. I don't need to see any.
For me, that's Futurama. I love Futurama. Did the just the series on and there it was those version of all of them are all I can think is Beelzebub. That's character the Fellowship of the Hobbit get out of the shower. I mean, he's like a giant dude in the garden with a massive tree and whatnot. Give his name. They took his line from the book and gave him the Tree Beard movie.
oh
And reused. I was like, yeah, there's some stuff of the trilogy, but they did so nice. They reused a ton of the lines and did a really good job. It's a and a ton of it looks good versus when they added a ton of Lord of the Rings. It wasn't it. And they added stories into oh, and live action the I those aren't right. Those are correct. It is.
Yeah.
What's funny,
I've read about probably 50 times.
I had read The Hobbit once, going through, but I'd never read Lord of the Rings before seeing the movies. I've seen the movies before I ever read the book. And I still, and I finally read the high school, like, well, I want to, and I remember everyone, the hardest things, it's hard. First time through the Fellowship was a slog. Getting to the on, I read,
Yeah.
and it dragged on for got service in different parts of the country. Not I'm like on with seeing the movie, but I've read since, and I'm like, actually, no, this is pretty close. And the way they lines are based on books, the pages, and then my is the version that I had of the trilogy, the book. The version I had was an all version. Edition where his son Christopher re-edited it back to total original version. Every time with a new had adjustments made that changed elements, and Christopher was like, for the and you're going to reverse those back to where father. I got kind of an original version. I and every time this is in the book, this happened, and I constantly.
I never had it until I.
It's funny. There's several stories that I've read. I saw movies in the main series, and then there's like, and I want this, and then how bad it's, and how much it's so perfect. I mean, they changed something. Happy ending version and one I really like the other me the sequel. Complicated. People found it to be too convoluted, and they weren't into it. And I'm like, what is it with you people and quote unquote complicated plot lines? This is not that hard to follow. But granted, I feel like that. I feel like a lot of the movies that I like are the more complex ones.
Yeah.
And other people, they like dumb and fun. And it's like, I enjoy dumb and fun, but I also like complicated pieces. I love the Ocean's 11 movies.
Oh, I do too.
And I had to watch Ocean's 12 like 4 times before it even made sense.
Yeah.
But I still really liked it.
Seems like to me I've seen that one a couple of times now, and I still don't have it down.
The funny thing about movies like that have so much going on and so many twists and so many hints is that watch that movie once you can't enjoy it the same way ever again because now you know what's happening in the background, right? I to this day can re-watch the Ocean's movie and still enjoy the twists because I spend the whole movie trying to find the hint. I know there actually have this 12. The whole thing from finish. I think already.
Yeah.
You know, and I 12 like to be like, this is all planned, but this is
Jay, I'm afraid.
there's a strip.
There's a
Oh, but guess what? Damn, I got paid this morning. What? That's it was mostly tax refund stuff from fuel purchases, and like $40 in detention. So I mean, they're legally obligated to finish paying me for everything I've earned. So I'm probably going to get trickle effects like that. But no mention of truck payment, no mention of forgiven lease payments, none of that stuff, because I don't owe any of that stuff now.
So, what's going to happen when you go to try to do your taxes next year?
So I called Abacus about that the other day and talked to them about it. So apparently, once my stuff with Prime is completely finalized, they actually contact Abacus and tell them, you know, that my contract is finished. And Abacus normally will then contact me to find out what I want to do. But since I called them first, they explained to me the options. One of the options is what's called a Schedule C, where they basically put all of what they've done together in a spreadsheet / book or whatever. And they send that to me, and I can take that to any tax prepper I want. Or even use it myself and do my own taxes.
You have to pay for that?
No, it's part of what they've already done. So they'll do that. They send it to me, and I don't owe them anything. Because the reason I called them was because I want to know if I could keep my LLC, how that worked. And they said, you can totally keep it. You can even transfer it to Idaho if you want. All you have to do is, you know, pay the government once a year to say that it's a good LLC, and it stays on the books. And because I've been paying for that through Abacus, they let me know that it's good through the end of the year. It's paid for. Yeah, because I really don't want to lose ownership of the name. So yeah, I called them and talked to them about that. So yeah, after I get the payout and after Prime's 110% done with me, then Abacus will just send me some paperwork, and I can take that wherever and do whatever. The guy on the phone was really cool about it too. I mean, he didn't give me crap or anything. Just like, oh, okay, well, here's what we can do. Very informative, which is always nice. Ooh, excuse me.
Well, I thought if I sat over here, I'd get some shade. It's taking its time.
Yeah, time is not on your side.
No, because here are the roads I should start taking down. Not necessarily leave, just take down. I figure if I have it down and put away and it's still early, then I can sit hang out for a bit. If I don't, then I'll be in a rush and then I'll be struggling.
Yeah. They've been talking about remaking Lord of the Rings, the live action movies, and I'm like, no, those are Peter Jackson's perfect creations. Leave them alone.
I was
Yeah,
like, why?
leave 'em
Usually
alone.
You remake
Is that
it
the
if
Lord of the
something
Rings?
needs to be better or
That's
there's
They're
awesome.
remaking everything
How they
now,
did
and it's
that.
more about
I look at that and
reintroducing
said
it
they
to
had
younger
spend
audiences
billions
than
to
anything
make
else.
that, you know what I
It's
mean?
not about making it better, because they're freaking. They're gonna do. officially announced it at D23. They are in fact doing a live action Lilo and Stitch. And I'm like, Lilo and Stitch was perfect. Leave it alone. If you want to go and make a live action Disney cartoon, do Atlantis. Do Treasure Planet.
I have not seen a single one of the remakes because I like them as cartoons. I do not want to see any of them.
I've only seen a couple of them.
Humans.
I've only seen a couple of them. One of the ones that I watched was one of the early ones. That was Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. It was almost perfect copy of the cartoon with a few additional scenes and one extra song, and it was beautiful.
To me, the whole point of the cartoons, the animation, is the animation. So
No, I agree with that.
They can take animation and make it look real. I'm like, okay, great. But to me, the movies were for the animation.
Hey,
For me, it's like hit and miss. So there's definitely some of them that I was interested in, some that I wasn't. So like
For a minute,
it's going
Beauty
out.
and the Beast was pretty good. I love
I got
Maleficent,
all my damn line out too. So.
because Maleficent wasn't just a cover.
I don't quite have all
They
of mine
actually
out, but I don't
redid
think
it
I need to put
from
any more
Maleficent's
out.
point of view, and I really liked the
I
Maleficent.
was thinking about going to a double pilot.
But like I watched the live action Pinocchio just out of curiosity because I heard the CGI was terrible, and yeah, the CGI is terrible. I've never watched The Lion King and just found out when we
The
were in the
fish
theater
didn't
the other
pop
day,
up.
they're making another one.
Wow,
It's a
okay, the top
prequel
one did.
about Mufasa's life. And
Yeah, I
it's
think
another
the whale
live
might be
action one.
blocking
And I'm
another
like,
one.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
didn't learn anything from the first
We had a
one?
little
Because I
more
guess
wind.
when they did the live action Lion
I don't
King,
wanna
it's
make
literally
any
like a shot for shot remake of the
assumptions
animated
until I
one,
get wind.
including the songs. Except that they
But I've
went
had 'em
too
up
realistic
before,
on the
but
animals, so they
need
have
a little
no
more.
expressions. So they
Did
just
you
look
bring in
deadpan
motion?
the whole way through. I've never watched that one. No interest. I never watched the Dumbo one. They just announced they're going to do a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs one.
No interest in
Did you ever watch some of the animated Hobbit
Yeah, we have it.
way
somewhere.
back when?
I love the animated one.
I stood in line for like 3 hours in the rain to see that. It was soaked clear through. Watched the movie,
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I have seen it.
and I was really disappointed because it didn't follow the book very good at all. And then I think seems like to me there was somebody else put one out, but I didn't like it either. But I don't remember for sure hardly anything about it.
I only remember the animated Hobbit. And then the only other thing after that was Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. There is a rumor right now that they're going to try and do a Gollum movie. Yes, specifically Gollum. And it's funny to me because, so, I don't do a ton of gaming, but I'm kind of in the know with the gaming circuit. And here about a year and a half ago, they did a Gollum video game, and it bombed. And I was like, and you want to turn around and make a Gollum-based movie?
They're going to eat that one. Because when you do something like they did for this Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, and they did the job that they did, it's really hard to get better than that.
Well, and that's the problem you see with these companies now, is that they have something like Lord of the Rings that is a pillar that is like perfect, and it was a big money maker at the time, right? So the executives start looking at that and going, what can we do to expand on that? How can we milk that? How can we get more money out of that? And that's when you get all this extra garbage going on. So it's like ever since Disney picked up George Lucas and his properties and got Star Wars, now there's constantly new Star Wars things. And at first, when you're a fan, you watch that and go, yay, new Star Wars content. But the more of it that they do, the more muddled it gets and the less quality it gets. So like
Yes,
they've got
I
all
agree.
these
I
they've got
totally agree.
they've got all these Disney Plus series that they've done in the Star Wars universe, and like 2 or 3 of them are really good, and then several of them are like, what? So it's like, I really enjoyed like the first season of Mandalorian, and then it got kind of weird, and I liked the Obi-Wan show.
Obi-Wan was fantastic.
But of all of them, Fuck, the guy from Rogue One. Fuck, what did they call that? Andor. Andor was really good. Andor was like perfection, and then a lot of the other ones have been super iffy. And they're doing the same thing to the Marvel universe, because of course you have this whole cinematic universe of lauded movies that people love. And the first show they did, the first show they did was WandaVision, and WandaVision was really good. And like the Winter Soldier show was pretty good. And then some of the other stuff like She-Hulk, I didn't even watch because like I have no interest in that at all. Why would I want to watch that? You start out like, oh yay, there's more content, and then very quickly it just turns into kind of a mess, and it really confuses the story. It's like watching, I can't even remember the names of all the Disney Star Wars shows now, but there was that one with the girl with the tentacle head.
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name. I don't remember the name.
But they did that show, and it was entertaining to watch, but now it's like, oh, there's witches in Star Wars? And it's like, apparently that is canon, but it's never been in any of the movies to date, and now it's all of a sudden a feature of one of the shows. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on?
Hey.
Hi.
Air.
Just wind.
So basically,
Sometimes it's really entertaining watching people get them up, but
No.
okay, so that we noticed that connected. That kite is holding her. Yeah. So, saw that. He walked the line out, and then the big collects in there, and then it goes so these guys, I kind of opened them up for like oh yeah. And they fill up with air naturally. Oh. So like his big whale over here, that's 55 feet.
Wow.
I mean, it's nice to have the vehicle here because you really can get a scope on how big the kites are. I mean, because we were way down there and we're like, oh my gosh, let's get closer and get some pictures. And we got here and we're like, look how big they are compared to people and the cars. Wow.
So
it's pretty cool.
I looked it up online, and that whale is the real size of a humpback whale.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And the same thing with orchids. Orchids are 35 feet.
Yeah, we were wondering.
are you going to be here next week?
Is the kite festival next week?
Yep.
Oh,
Starts
man.
Monday.
Does it go through the following weekend?
Yes.
7 days.
And the Kite Festival looks like this, only about 60 times bigger.
Yeah, I was telling him. I came down, I think it was probably 25 years ago, and saw it, and it was awesome. And you just really pray for wind, don't you?
And then we're here almost every weekend.
Nice.
Every weekend.
So is it just in Long Beach, or is it all up and down the beach?
It's going to be mainly Long Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have to register to be in it, or can you just come out and put your kites up?
It depends on what you're flying.
Uh-huh.
So the big ones like these, we register just for safety.
Uh-huh.
You have to have your wristband to be in the area where the kites are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So big.
Yeah.
For the 2 lines in that, I don't think you have to register.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But you can, as a spectator, you can come down and watch
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah, yeah.
you play. So,
Oh, wow.
And you can fly outside of the roped off areas.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, down on the beach, because there's a lot of beach down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like here, I mean, there's a lot of beach.
Is the main part where it says, welcome to the longest beach, is that
Yeah.
where the main
Yeah.
stage is?
There's vendors and stuff. through
Okay,
there,
yeah.
And then where the sand starts.
Okay, cool. All right. Well,
And
thanks,
And
guys.
they'll have our whole main drag closed.
Okay. Wow. Wow. It's pretty awesome. So, standing back, we thought that was a stingray. And then we thought that was a shrimp or a lobster. We thought that was a manta ray. Yeah, we thought each one of these were some kind of sea creature until we saw the bird. How fun. What a great hobby. Are they pretty expensive to have a set like these?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And then afterwards, you just kind of roll them up like a sleeping bag?
They go into stuff bags.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's a new one for me.
What?
Are they held up with air or helium?
Yeah.
I know, but I've never heard it before.
Neither.
The goal is to try to not do that.
The seahorse is great too. Really sweet.
Yep, we fly down at the, if you come to the approach, we're down at the very end by the water.
Okay.
Our group is.
Normally.
I'm Sam.
She was saying where we would be parked. And I was saying normally because we were thinking of moving if there was bathrooms further out.
Well, if you could go down in that part of it and fly there, because it's not taken yet, you know.
If the wind keeps doing next week what it's been doing the last couple months, I think we're going to have more of this going this way. Because last year it was going this way. And I think
Sometimes it did both in the same day.
yeah, and I think that's going to be a big effect on what and how.
I've seen it down there where it was, everything was lined up and down the beach, you know, north south, and
I just measured
in
the
about
wind.
a 5 or
8
10
to
minute period,
8.1.
it went onshore,
I need like 10,
90 degrees
I
in
need
just
about 10.
minutes.
Yeah.
And John's kite was the
Sad
only
part
one
is,
that
I
was
think
still
it's
in the
too-
air after all
it's too
that.
strong to
The
launch
rest of them are all
250.
macrameed together.
It can get this strong, but you have to launch it lighter one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned anytime we're out here and the wind just stops, it's probably going to come back in a new direction.
Well, this one didn't stop. It just, all the kites just went
Yeah.
like that.
I remember several times last year because, was it Tim who had that massive manta ray at the far end of the field with the lifter holding it up? And I remember watching that lifter doing all kinds of crazy things, holding that ray up, and like everything else in the field had come down, and that thing was still flying. That thing ended up acting like a barometer for the rest of us for what would or wouldn't fly. I remember because where I was, there was that guy who had those deltas that looked like paper airplanes. They were really cool kites, but he wanted a lot of money. And I could get there and try and get stuff in the air as quickly as possible. He'd show up and then throw those things up in the air, and he didn't give a crap who was around him.
Yeah.
And it kept intersecting with my stuff.
Well, there's not supposed to be any kite flying from the road down to the big field rope. And I fault the people that were in charge for not telling those people, you can't fly here. You can fly these kind of kites outside. You
Well,
can
I'll
fly
tell you
'em-
what, I think I drank
Well, and
that
I had
one
most
right
of
when I
mine
ski way
on
too
stakes
fast.
inside
Feeling
the
it,
rope
eh?
line.
Oh boy.
The only things I was flying from, like our camp, was like on poles.
I haven't been drinking at
And
all.
they
I
had
was
like
thinking
this
if I
much
had one or
line.
two
Yeah.
more, I
You
could,
know.
life
Well,
would be
those are
very
okay, but
interesting
flying
for me.
kites,
It'd be a fun drive home, huh?
you know,
Huh?
70
It'd be a
feet
fun
in the
drive
air,
home.
Yeah.
or 100 feet in the air from by the road.
Well, you'll have
Yeah.
to wait
With
and have some
sandbags
with spaghetti tonight.
Mhm.
Oh.
And I told the guy one time, I said, because they were flying into my kite, and I said,
You have
you know,
Parmesan cheese?
your
I think
kites
there's some in the
are
fridge still.
very
Huh?
beautiful
I
kites.
think
They
there's
were
still some in the
kind of a
fridge.
different kind, and I really,
I can stop and get some on the way
and they were
back.
very pretty. And I
I
said,
think
you
there's
got
some
some
in
really
there.
nice kites here, but
I love
you're flying
Parmesan
over
cheese
here,
on
and some of
spaghetti.
these kites that you're flying into are $1,000, and they're gonna either tear that kite up and you're gonna have to buy it, or it's gonna make turn your kite into kindling, and we don't want that. We don't want that here. So, you know, you shouldn't be flying where you're flying. And he says, you fucking kite,
What do you
big
got
kite
hanging on
flyer,
your
stick you
lifeline?
on the whole goddamn beach.
Oh,
Fuck
extra
you,
line.
you
Extra
know.
line, okay.
'Cause when I put
Okay.
the marlins between, it
He
bases out
came
the
back to,
distance
when he
between the
folded
wells,
up all of
and
his
my
stuff
lines are
2 or
already
3 hours
cut.
later.
Oh,
He
okay.
came back and stuck his face right here and said, "People like you shouldn't be allowed at a Kite Festival." And I should have decked him right there. Hit him so hard that he wouldn't wake up for a week. And I'd leave him in the sand for the week. That son of a bitch really pissed me off. But I
Yeah.
didn't. I just said, "Have a nice day."
That's hard to do, but I've been there, man. I feel it.
I think if I ever saw him again and he did that again,
When I've dealt with people like that, one of the things I try to remind myself is that I probably am never going to see them again. And even if I did, either they're not going to recognize me, I'm not going to recognize
well, he couldn't recognize me. I've changed. I've gotten really old looking since then. It's
You
been
were
I don't
old
know.
then too. Really old.
Huh?
You just got really old.
Yeah, that's true. I am really old now. I'm still hoping to be doing this kind of flying when I'm 80.
How old are you now, Ron?
77.
That's why you and my dad get along so well, because you're so close in age and you've got very similar naval experiences. I think he really enjoys coming out here and chatting Navy with you.
Oh yeah, I did too. Because that's something my grandson, my youngest grandson.
One who made right?
Oh no, that's my
Okay.
which that really surprised me. I knew he was flying Raptors, and you don't get to fly Raptors unless you're pretty damn good at it. And he flew Raptors for I don't know how many years, and then my grandson is in nuclear engineering in the Navy.
Oh yeah, that's what Dad did.
And so he's got an 8-year, he's signed up for 8 years now to get what he wanted to do, because he's Marines.
He
And
already accepted.
huh?
He already got accepted. He'll be in Seattle within 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Bremerton.
That's
Even though-
exactly what my dad did. He worked on their subs.
Cool.
The I forget the exact thing. But he worked on the nuclear part of the nuclear.
I didn't even know Bremerton base, and especially for nuclear subs.
I gotta keep it somewhere.
Man, I was on the other end of the submarine thing in sonar on a destroyer, and I was the equipment we had was brand new because we put the ship in commission, and sonar was brand new. ASROC launchers and torpedoes, everything was brand new. 8-inch mount we had in the front, radar guided. It was like shoot one out there, see how close, and then you adjust what you think. You know, and
You just ran after tracer fire.
they had we did one exercise where they had about a 22-foot boat, and it had a cover over it, so because it was an open boat, like a rowboat or something, you know, but it was 22 feet long, motorized and remote, and they would cruise around and we'd shoot at it, and your points for how close. Third shot we put in the water and with its supposed to be able to put yards of
Interesting. The Tillamook
that Naval Air Service had too.
Yeah.
They have improved displays since it's there, and I remember one of the things that they talked about was because early development was for training. They wanted to fly, so we're looking at something, you know, tiny and move. The development that they had targets.
Have been to
it's big. They've added stuff. A diorama. Then and there's two sections and covers like major battle and the so it's got Pearl Harbor before and after. You've got some American fleet, Japanese fleet. They're all got battle, including and everything. Next room, which is the east, in that room, or from in timeline, like Tillamook.
Really?
Yeah.
To go see
That was new. It's not like traveling. There's fuel tank stuff.
It's this.
Ships have dioramas. And what Eastern huge mob.
Wow.
I was taking tell you.
that.
I in them and do
Got an H6 ground blown. It's a high wind amphibian.
because I since the last night I have this it's full rental aircraft. They've got a blend.
Yeah.
They have a blend and a ton of trainers. We've got the Guppy outside.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Guppy.
Do they have newer ships in?
No.
Building was
Yeah. There's still there. One of the things that they got how characters were used during.
Have you ever been on in McDonald's? There's I think there's
You
three
can't go inside it anymore.
where
Bruce Goose.
you could go up to the cargo, but if you want to go up into the cockpit, you have to pay. See all of the inside from.
You have to go up the cockpit.
I was there when early first got it.
In here.
That's when I went.
I went was parked up and have a way building it. Remember?
That
they're using old service for the Tillamook Air Museum. And even with the and all of its stuff, the back of that hangar is literally storage. It's a storage unit where they've got like people's campers and boats parked. And there's a locomotive in there too. Locomotive, it's a full-size steam locomotive. It looks like keep forgetting airship. There were two huge art and the A there's burned. So left of it is hold the door.
Story some of the moon landing vehicles.
You're pretty.
Yeah, and we're almost.
The other nephew became general. That one is planes of every kind you could think of, helicopters, all kinds of stuff. The thing is full of planes, all kinds. It just.
So one of the places I've been when I was a kid, Houston on one of our trips. So I've been to Houston Space Center, and they had a bunch. They're just unbelievable big some of them are.
You ever? And we went. My brother-in-law was there, and we went through the. It probably makes all three of the buildings at McVinville. This building was as big as all three of them put together. And we walked around, and there was everything from the Wright brothers up to modern jets.
What was funny to me was I went to the Tillamook one here about 5 years ago. And I remember it was interesting, especially like that, because there aren't too many of those left.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I'd seen on TV, because it was on several different episodes of for things, one down in California. So being able to see one in that was super cool, right?
Yeah.
But I remember the museum itself not having a whole lot to it. When we were in Tillamook, and I was like, oh, we can check out the Air Museum. And Sam's like, well, how long will it take to get through that? Because we're trying to figure out timing and whatnot. And I'm like, oh,
it's not
I
supposed
don't
to
know,
rain till 6.
80, 90 minutes.
Cool.
It's not huge.
And
And
the
we
wind's
go
about
there and
2
have all this
miles
new
an hour
stuff,
more.
and we were in there for like over 2 hours.
How many hours?
We were at least 2 hours solid.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason we really stopped is because we were tired.
Yeah, we got tired.
Because that's something I think
Like the last exhibit we went through was all the experimental. The experimentals are actually in kind of a tent to keep the owl droppings off of them, because owls nest in the rafters. And we kind of did a quick one. Both so tired. Space a little cafe, but they don't have anyone renting it out right now. If they had a cafe there, I think it'd be just about perfect.
they did last time I was there.
Yeah, it's there, but it's vacant. You can sit in the booths, but they're not selling anything out of it right now.
I've been to Tillamook since I used to go to the time. I'd go down 4 or 5 days at a time.
That's where something to eat when it's coming up. Garibaldi.
Yeah. Baldy is where the jetty park is. Went
What's
to
the name of the jetty park? What's the name of the park?
jetty park. And then couple of miles or
Yeah,
so.
2-3 miles only. It's close.
Yeah. And you went in there in the store at the jetty park.
Okay.
And they had, yeah. But I used to go there all the time and fly kites
Whales
on
trying
the
to
beach
overfly
and
your line.
hunt agates.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's the sled
then
that
they-
doesn't have power to get it vertical enough.
They raised the prices for hookup
If that's
spots
the case, why aren't the other ones
by like
flying?
$10. And the Tillamook
Marlins
County,
between hills is
they had to pay
Looks really
tax, like
yeah.
you had room tax.
And then do the
I had to pay $5 the first night. Man, it got like 50, 60 bucks a night.
Tillamook has gotten to be a real, I mean, it always has been, but it's definitely even in the last couple of years since I've been coming out here, gotten to be a real tourist.
My wheels on the
tourist
ground.
town.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they have a direct line to Portland, so, I mean, it makes sense that people from inland would go straight there. They've got free marine or not, but yeah. Tourist.
Play right.
What if down awful.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to Tillamook. I just knew that
I had the VT. Put a hitch on, or a winch on it, and I had a full guard on it, and I put lights on it, and that I had to come up off, brought it up and aimed it so that when my hand was resting on the muzzle, I could go like this and come off when it come out, because I had 4 big, you know, and it was driving through the coast range. I would have 2 of them pointed out over the top of my bright lights, and the other 2 were like this, so I could look in the ditches for the elk. And a lot of times I saw elk clear up on the siding, like a dozen elk running along the top. Deer before
they just promoted pictures.
Oh, they did?
Position. And he's an asshole.
Yeah, of course.
Wrote can't remember, because I in a straightaway, and he was hiding. There was a rep there that
Trying.
and I didn't see him. And I saw me coming around the corner, so I turned him off, and he was on me, pulled me over, and I said, well, I turn him off when I see another car coming at me, you know. I just don't want to hit any elk and stuff. And he said, yeah, he says, I saw you do that, but you can't have them. You can use them off-road, but you can't. So, okay, I got
a friend who lives a Jeep like mine. One of those new LED lights, like feet wide, and they're super freaking bright. And he had that on his roof on the front. And wired it to his. So I look on the high beam, and I guess that was all, except that they found out that because of however the switch worked, it would come on with the high beams, but it wouldn't turn back off.
Yeah.
oh shit.
It's like, oh, I bet that was fun to fix. I mean, they got it fixed.
How in the hell did he do?
Don't know. As far as having lights lit to the side for the elk and stuff, man, I've seen all kinds of crazy lighting situations on semi-trucks. But like myself even, I would drive with my fog lights on because did the same thing. They did more sideways and less forward. So I was getting ready to turn in my truck, so one of the things I had to do was put the stock lights back in. And I've been running with some aftermarket projection LEDs for the last 3 years. So I put the original lights back in, and I figured I only got to deal with them for a month. It's not going to be a big deal. First night I had to turn those on. Oh my God, I hate these. They were like low and they were dim, and I'm like, oh my God, these are horrible lights. And my first thought was, if I lift them up a little bit, they'll be better. So I go to jam my screwdriver up in there and adjust them, and the left one kind of moved and then wouldn't move, and I couldn't tell if I was stripping, because it was like a screw. Couldn't tell if I was stripping it or not because it's dark. I go to the other one, and of course I've got the hood open, so while the hood's open, all of this stuff is pointing to the ground. So I'm looking at the ground as I'm trying to adjust them. So the right hand one, I shove the screwdriver in there, and I can see it lit, and I'm like, okay. So I'm messing with one, I'm messing with it, I can't get anything. I'm worried I'm just destroying it. I'm shoving a flashlight in there trying to see if, I've got the wrong, shape screwdriver or something. Can't figure anything out. Finally, I'm like, fuck it. The other one got lifted. I can make, it'll look a little screwy, but it'll work, right? So I put the hood down, and the lights come up and point, and I'm parked behind a warehouse. And now I can see the left one is almost unchanged. The right one is like this. It's almost looking at the sky, and I'm like, oh crap, that's way too high. So I open the hood again, and I shove the screwdriver in the right, and it won't go back down. It's doing the same thing the other one was doing, where it feels like it's just stripping. So after screwing with that for like half an hour, I was like, it's a month, but I can see with them. So I'm driving around with my headlights doing this at night. Screw it, these things work.
Yeah, I put an Uga horn on all of my trucks up until the V10, and I tried to put one on there, and there was just no damn where to put it.
I always wanted to get upgraded horns. I really wanted a train horn, a real one, an air-driven train horn.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to have it connected so that my normal pole would activate it. And I knew I needed to have a professional installation done for that, because the pole was up here, but the horn was somewhere under my seat outside the truck in the under stuff. Mm-hmm. And I never ever saw the actual air horn on any. I knew where the city horn was. I tried replacing the city horn with like a louder one, and on one of my trucks, the aftermarket one I put on, the bolt holes didn't match up, so I had to kind of make it fit. And the fucking thing just fell off my truck one day going down the road. I was like, well, at least I kept the stock one. I could wire it back in. So here about a year ago, I was at one of the chrome shops, and I'm looking at their horns like I do, and they have an electronic train. It's like yay big, and it's supposed to sound just as good as the actual air horn one. And I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. I can shove it in just and basically put a button on my dash, and I can just push that to get my train horn. Awesome! So I buy it, and I bring it home, and I very carefully take apart part of the front grille so I can sneak this little speaker in there, put it all back together, run the wires, I get it all nice, and it looks great, it's invisible, and I go to turn it on and test it. Well, it's got a button, and it's got a remote control. So I'm outside the truck with the remote control, and I push the button, and it sounded like shit.
What?
It sounded horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was like it was amped up too much. So it was like there was too much power for the speaker, so it was messing up the sound. It literally sounded like a recording of an air horn instead of an air horn. And I was like, I hate
Your
it.
chair's open all the way, John.
I hate it.
I don't think your
So I was
chair's
ready to throw send it back to the chrome shop when Dad's like, well, I need a horn for Chevy. So we still have it with the idea that at some point he's going to 5 Chevy.
all the way.
So you can go push the button.
I found it somehow, and it wasn't very expensive. And I've got no one when I first like a Uga horn. Instead of, and the old one's on my boat now. And
Too cold?
I wired it all
No.
and it works.
Just
Been on there
straighter
since
on my
we got
back.
it.
Oh.
One of the first cars I ever had was a '73 Mercury with a stock horn in it, and it had dual this
I'm
big.
debating to try something
You're
up
a huge
underneath
one.
the whale.
My friend in high school had a little Honda, and I remember making jokes about getting into a horn somewhere because his little
Wind is only
oh, you want And here, a couple years ago, I thought I would do a project car. I found somebody online who was selling an LTD that was the same vintage my Mercury had been. My
Hey there.
Mercury and that LTD were effectively the same car. Except
Hey,
mine's
you.
Canadian. And his was
We are.
dark green color, 71 LTD, I think it was. And one of the first things
Well, I'm
when I
getting
started
ready to
getting
my
into
truck.
it,
I'm
I
getting
found
ready to
was
get
the
my
horn
truck
was
and make a run
disconnected.
for
And
it.
I was like, oh, I can fix that. Like,
Okay.
that's why it's unplugged, because it's stuck on.
I'll see you when you get here.
Oh dear.
Okay, bye-bye.
When I was in the Navy,
Who's
one of my buddies
That was Bob.
lived in Frisco, and he decided he was going to go up and get his pickup and have it so he could have, we could go camping. A bunch of us used to go down into Mexico and camp. Had a aircraft landing light on.
No.
So we go down there, and at night,
It's
by
24
the time
volt.
we were down that,
Lights when I was in, they were 24 volt.
Oh, this one, he had a, I don't know how he did it, but he did, and this thing was, Jesus, it would light up the highway for 500 yards. I mean, light it up.
I bet.
So we're going down there one night, and there was a car coming at us, and they had their bright lights on. So he would flick his brights on and off to signal them, hey, your brights are on, your brights are on. And the guy turned that aircraft landing light. I went by, he lit up these brights. See what shirts were. And
Little white
Yeah.
and black.
we went beyond, and we turned around with the new, and he was pulled off to the side of the road because we couldn't see anything.
Fine.
And it,
Chewy.
you could feel that light that way from the bumper.
Get over here.
Some of the new LED cops are
Chewy.
like that. 'Cause some states, when they're a cop pulled over on the side of the road, like there's a dim version and a bright version of their lights, right? And you'd think that when they're on the side of the road already stopped with someone, they'd put on like the dim version. It's still bright. But there are some places you go where their lights are so bright, even in bright, they're blinding.
Yeah. My headlights on that truck aren't very good.
Would you stop?
But
I think your diamond's trying to come down.
holy crap.
What?
Look how high my,
Chewy.
mine went way up there. Seahorse is getting airsick.
Yeah.
I guess I ought to play with that and see if I can get that nose.
Boy, it looks fine.
Well, it's off to one side, and one of the wings isn't showing up. I don't know why.
Had issues with that wing in the past.
Wait a minute, but you notice it's leaning to the right.
Yeah.
Why do you want to fuck with a conservative seahorse?
Because it's there.
light bar is something I thought would be nice to have.
What's that?
The light bar is something I thought would be nice to have.
Oh yeah.
I've looked at a couple things, but you know, you got to drill holes and stuff for them, and I don't know what I want to do. Clamp them. I was looking down these online, and they're mounts for them instead or clamp. And I was like, oh, that's then I could wherever holes. Yeah, the wiring. Wires. I also thought that a small winch would do it, but I'm honestly not sure my front bumper will support much of a winch.
I looked at the line. Something. I looked at quad. Thought about.
I mean, I was thinking of a, but even I would want a minimum winch that would be strong enough to drag this out if it was stuck somewhere, right? And I'm not sure my bumper is strong enough to hold a winch that size.
I gave up because it's something else you got to buy gas for. You got to maintain it.
Well, I was going to get an electric one, so it would run off the car. Be smaller. Coming out. Banners. I am participating. Oh, it's almost 2:45. I always have issues trying to post stuff out here. I don't know what it is.
So lately, I can't see what I'm typing. I have to type blindly, and then I touch like a picture and get my
Let it post and then edit it later. You can always tag people after the fact.
It's not even like giving me the option. I can add an emotion, I can tag a location, and it's got a camera icon.
Interesting. Sounds like a glitch. Let it post and then edit it later.
I'm going to delete it when you try again.
What are you buying now, John?
I'm texting. Thanks for asking.
About 2 more of the 60-foot whales?
Huh?
2 more 60-foot whales?
I think I need a sperm whale next.
Nah. I like
Well,
that big.
they're not real that big.
No.
Parts are.
Yeah. Oh. Mouth open.
Yeah.
No. I mean, and it's so intimidating until you remember that it doesn't give a shit that you're there. Just don't be in front of it.
John, did you measure the wind?
Huh?
Did you measure the wind?
I did. It was like 8.1 to 8.3, but that's been about 45 minutes ago.
And it was 7 when I measured.
My sister and her husband went to Hawaii once, and they took diver, you know, with the tanks and stuff. They took lessons, got certified, and then they took them out in a boat and had them down snorkel, you know, with the tanks. And the whale shark came by, and they were able to grab a hold of it and got towed for a while. And then they just a little bit, and then they let go. They didn't, you know, and it didn't. The whale shark just went on its way, but they got to be actually touch it.
That's cool.
That would be a thrill.
Yeah.
I had a chance to snorkel in Hawaii when I was a kid, but I couldn't deal with the mask. So my parents went, and I stayed on the beach and made sandcastles. But some years after that, we were down in Kissimmee, Florida, and they have these crystal clear rivers and stuff up in there. And we signed up for a snorkeling trip with one of them, and I was able to tolerate the mask that time. Granted, I stayed at the surface the whole time, but that was really cool. And that was just in a river, but I specifically remember this one part we went to where the river kind of opened up, and it was like a big, almost like a pond, and it must have been like 50 feet deep. But there was like a tree that had floated down the river and sunk there, and it's all its branches out. Underwater, so it was like an underwater tree.
It's higher.
And that was super cool. And one of the other things that was in that trip was that river was full of manatees.
I don't have very good
So we're swimming with the manatees, and they're herbivores. They eat the grass underwater, and you could hear it. You can hear them chewing it.
Oh yeah.
In the water. And we were following this like pod. I don't know what the families are called. I think it's a pod of manatees. And one of the guides is like filming so they can sell you a DVD after the fact. And unbeknownst to me, I'm kind of following this adult pair of manatees. Behind me, they've got a pup that's following me.
Oh.
Because it's curious about what I'm doing there. And I didn't see it, but I got to see the video of it later. It was so cool.
Aren't manatees pretty big?
They're good size, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 500 pounds, or
They're in that ballpark. I mean, they're not massive by any means, but think of like, you know, when you're in Astoria and they've got that one pier that's covering all those huge seals and stuff. The really big seals, similar size to an adult manatee.
oh, okay.
They're in that ballpark. I wouldn't say they're the same because it's been so long and I was a kid at the time, but they're in that ballpark.
Yeah. Wow.
Mine would have been 4 years.
You've been in that museum in Tillamook, or I mean in Astoria, haven't you?
The Maritime Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I want to do that again.
I've been in.
There was a and I kind of go back.
In there, and I
Put out there. There's a mic.
yeah. There.
I forget the name of that at least twice.
have out in Columbia.
I don't know if I did it.
Through that thing was inside.
The thing that I got, one of the letters, somebody sticker on there.
Oh yeah.
An original Star Wars sticker. To me, it's about there.
There was something on yesterday about doing the light shift. Like, I don't know if they're doing like a special thing with it or something, but there was something on a banner.
I think they remodeled it, so it's been closed for a while, or refurbished or whatever.
Because I remember seeing the sign and I wasn't thinking ship when I read it. I think the reason I wasn't thinking ship was because I swear to God that the banner had a picture of a there.
Guesstimating. We'll probably be early, but
It's
I'd rather
about
be
an
early
hour.
than
Well,
late.
and you wanted to go to Costco on the way there, not the way back, so.
It's about a park down there to Seaside.
Yeah, depending on tourist traffic. But like I was saying, we wanted to go to Costco on the way there because she was thinking it would be closed on the way back.
Yeah.
So.
Huh?
I'm gonna need you to move.
Oh,
From
okay.
my ahead with this.
Alrighty.
Actually, he's smart enough not to, but I'm not.
I need to tighten the screws on this thing again. Coming apart. One of these days, I'm gonna sit in this chair and it's gonna fall apart.
I got this for Chewy.
Oh yeah.
Driftwood you chew on? What's the wrong way?
He's like, oh, I didn't want you to go get that for me. He usually watches me and anticipates.
One of these days, I'm gonna sit in this chair and it's gonna break.
That's what happened to mine.
I need like a square-headed screwdriver to tighten that down.
I have hexes at home.
And I'm trying to remember to see if we can tighten it. I hand tightened it as far as I can get it. Jesus, boy, you're gonna break your teeth.
Okay.
Not supposed to rain till like 6 or something.
Till the evening, so hopefully.
And the wind's supposed to be a little bit better, so it'll be okay.
We can pick. John loves that caterpillar.
Yeah, he does.
Because I didn't know.
Hey, he's in town on that one. Getting some doggy floss again.
Tearing it up.
Alright. Let's start with the leeward side.
John's got his centipede up.
Oh, I love that.
Decided my grouping needed a little color.
That's very colorful. That mouth is terrifying.
And that is the easiest thing to squeeze the air out of and put in the bag than anything I have. That caterpillar. It just the way you squeeze the air out of it and everything.
Oh, that's Bob's new rig.
Well, you already got rid of the Jeep?
Yes. That way he can tow his new trailer.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But now I'll never know for sure if I'm seeing him because that thing was so easy to tell it was his.
He's already put a couple of Kite stickers inside on the back windows.
Yeah, but the other thing was bright orange.
Yep.
It was easily recognizable.
Oh, yes. Really, shut down.
Ah! All right, it's gonna get floppy.
Look, our wind is getting better.
Check it out.
Caterpillar.
I thought it was a centipede.
That's the centipede.
Says it's a caterpillar in the book when I ordered it.
Never all lucky.
Maybe.
It totally looks like a centipede. Ow! Oh,
So when I asked you about a lifter cup,
yeah.
what I was thinking is, if there's Sam, you know that front box I just got there?
Yeah, maybe just
I think
close.
That's fine.
These things are going in.
So you like the manta
If they
ray?
don't,
One of those
unless
manta
you
rays?
push them out.
Remember how you were saying, how does Tim Swartson's manta ray stay up there?
Oh, that's
Because
20 weight.
but yeah, and with a pilot on it. So there's a pilot that's 35 meters. Usually you go 35 meters above the kite. So you go about 60 feet above the kite. With a line off that. So that's kind of what they do.
Well, that made me think. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
how to do this shit.
Yeah, yeah. So the Dragon's the same thing, but the thing is with like the one thing about a Peter Lynn pilot, they're super light.
Just as long as
Nobody has ever
and
complained.
the next one is underneath.
And so, and the thing is you don't have to get out a big kite like that. You don't have to get out something big with tails and all that stuff. Yeah. You don't have to get in. It's just one small little kite you're putting up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you put all your line on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but, I mean, you know.
I think that looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. Yep. Yeah.
If the wind would come up a little more and go a little higher, I put my alligator
I
on.
don't zip it from that end. I zip it from this end.
I was about to say, that zipper don't want to move.
Well, they get pretty jammed in, but I like to have them at the lee end of the car
Yes.
so the stuff doesn't blow around.
I always some buckaroos.
Yeah.
So when we're in town, don't let me forget to buy coolant.
Pull up, I was going to be standing on top of the grass and let off on the bed. So how is that? How do you think that dragon's going to hook up?
Oh, it's fine.
Ooh, excuse me.
Anything. Yeah. So it has a hook right at the head, and then it has all the the
So
body.
just put it on the flight line.
Yep. It's
Okay,
like
it
this.
isn't like I put one on.
It's your whale right there.
Yeah.
You know, it has a hook for the head.
Yeah.
And then you have the bridle that comes
So,
down.
yes, the other day I flew my butterfly with one line going to the pilot and one line going to the
I saw her do that. I said,
Yeah,
that's
you can
what
do it
he's
that
asking
way.
about.
You can do. There's like all different ways.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Now, Tim's a bit
So
all
nice
over
out
that
there. We
dragon.
don't know what
Yeah,
tomorrow's going to be. I may not want to leave at 5. And he sold the I other want one. to push it a The other little one.
Huh?
He
Huh?
messaged me and said, hey, I got the purple one left. Nobody wants it. I said, matter of fact, I know somebody the other day said he wanted one.
Yeah.
So let me give him a call real quick.
I was going to ask how you got in the middle of that. That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Depends on
yeah.
what the wind is going to do.
It's supposed to just get a little better and then it's later that it drops off.
No. What do you think?
Man, I've been down there trying to get out the field straightened out. Well, I tell you, Ray's on everybody's shit list right now. Yep, he,
Rick?
heck,
Then I got enough to take Tim for that.
he freaking went down there. He went down there and we put up all the anchors. So I got 10 more anchors out there. I I got acres that are closer to where we were at, but you got to remember, we couldn't do the field. I mean, we put more acres, so the acres are closer. But we couldn't. So remember last year how that was like 60 feet from the road to the fence?
Yeah.
Well, now it's back to normal what it used to be. You know, we still got like 50.
It goes far down the last.
So it went past. It's past the sign in between the signs. Hey, Chris. So yeah, the field's longer. Yeah. Well, like 15 feet out. And went down with so there's cool.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them. I still got to go out and finish the last ones on the back of that thing.
I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah.
If the tide comes in, they kind of
Well,
float and stay above
that
the
we had a
sand.
problem when the sand blew in the middle of the night. Covered up all the ropes. We couldn't find the anchors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ron and I went down there yesterday, late yesterday. We could find the ones with the orange on it, but
Yeah.
we couldn't find the rest of them.
So it's funny. So I told the city where I wanted the fence. Blah blah blah. I ran across the river. While I'm over the river, I get a phone call from Ray. Did you see where they put this fence? I'm like, no. I said, how am I supposed to see? I ain't there. And he goes, it's right on the road. There's no place to park and all this shit. And I'm like, okay, I'll be back. Just chill out. And so I get over there, and yes, they did. They put it. There was enough room to park a car and probably put maybe 3 banners to the fence. I'm like, okay, well, yes, they put it too close. He started fucking flipping out. He called everybody. He called Bree, yelled at her, all this shit. And I'm like, really? And so he comes down and he goes, well, I bitched at the city, and I told them they had to move it, and they told me to fuck off. And I'm like, well, yeah, probably, because you're not the boss. It's not your job, you know? And so I'm like, okay, well, let's just move it. We'll move it, you know? And so we were supposed to move it today. That piece of shit didn't even fucking show up to help move it. And then he come down after I fucking moved it, and he says, there's still not enough fucking room. I'm like, room for what, Ray? Well, I pulled my Suburban in here, I pulled my trailer in here, and I put my gazebo up, and there's stuff. I said, so this is all about fucking Ray. I said, this field's all about Ray. I said, you know what, dude? Fuck off, I'm done. If you don't fucking like it, don't come to the fucking festival. I said, it is what it is, that's it.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
So the city turned around and told Bree, he is no longer in charge of that field. We're not talking to him no more. Because he pissed off the fucking city. And he's down there throwing a fucking tantrum. And I'm like, are you kidding, dude? I can't believe you would fucking do that.
You can't get nowhere throwing a tantrum either.
And then he sat there right in front of everybody, and I'm like, listen, I said, last year's, I said, our anchors were only 15 feet from the road. Bullshit, you're fucking lying, he said. I said, okay, whatever. So I pulled up pictures of you standing there 15, 20 feet away from that fucking fence on an anchor. You putting up a kite. And I'm like, listen, look at this. I showed him today. I said, look at this. Look at this fucking anchor. 15 feet from the fence.
Yeah, that's, if the wind's going the wrong
And I
way,
said-
it's worthless.
and I said-
Use any of them, yeah.
And I told Ray,
That's exactly the way I felt last year.
and I told Ray, I said, listen, I looked at the weather, I've been looking at the weather, I've looked at 3 different fucking weather things, and everybody says the wind is all south next week. All the wind is south. So those anchors are going to be perfectly fine. We'll be able to use them, they'll be fine. And, you know, whatever. And then the fucking city guy tells me, Mike, he comes to me and he says, well, Ray last year told me he wants him to. I said, bullshit. And at the end of the field where we fly, we have a whole section that's about 50 feet that has nothing. So anybody with small shit or 10, all those guys fly there, they have a they can fly their crap. So there's 4 anchors in front, and there's 5 anchors next.
Well, I want to, if I'm going to put out my stuff, I want to be the 3rd row down.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all staggered.
Yeah.
So I knew what the wind was going to do and all that shit. So now when you go down there, if we have south wind, everything should be straight and organized, you know. But fuck, man, I've been running around like a jackrabbit all day. I'm tired. I'm done.
Well, you just got paid. Go have a beer.
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh man, I went down there, moved that fence this morning, went, got all the signs, put all the signs up, and then Ray comes down. Of course, he didn't come down, help move the fence. Comes down and throws the fucking pool noodles in the back. He says, "Here, these go on the metal stakes." I'm like, "You douchebag." I'm fine. So James, I put the tailgate down. I said, "James, sit in the back of my truck and you drive around the field." Jump out. They wanted us.
Everyone wants end result.
Yeah.
Hey, we're flying now, John.
Huh?
Flying now.
Hey!
Yeah, when I pulled up, that swordfish was molesting that whale.
Oh, wait a minute. I can put up the alligator.
We were gonna have some funky babies.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye.
Merch
tomorrow.
opens up at 11
See you tomorrow, Chris.
Yep.
Ron, what time is it?
3:05.
All right. I gotta go home and mow grass.
How you doing, Bob?
Oh, I'm tired.
Oh, I can't wait to get that.
Oh, I've been running my ass off.
Kite flyers are a hoot.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
put
assuming
you
it's just a
there.
drive on holding the wings out there like that.
Yeah, there's I think like 7 or 8 lines that come off the wings and come down, and then you got the chest.
X-band, K-band, Ka-band, laser, GPS connected.
Sand mode, activate.
Sunday mornings are even more mellow, with nothing but down-tempo and deep house instruments. As Chill Instrumental takes over Sirius XM Chill, it's one of more than 200 extra channels. Available on the Sirius XM app, now free to most subscribers. The Chill Instrumental Takeover, every Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Excuse me. Hope you're turn it off here shortly, and I will see you when I see you. outfit.